Hey, Mike, thank you so much for your time today. We're here at Manup Pittsurgh, put on by Urban Impact. Really, the whole point of the conference is to impact fatherless kids. So I'm just curious, you were impacted by fatherlessness. Can you talk to the 15 to 20-year-old Mike Tomlin or kids going through the same thing? What would you say to them at this point in their life?
And I'm glad you asked that because what I'm aware of now that I really wasn't aware of then is I had a lot of great godly fathers that were in my life in a surrogate sort of way. My grandfather was a big impact, godly impact on me. My stepdad was a big godly impact on me. I had a lot of coaches in all the sports that I played that provided great fatherly leadership and mentorship for me. And I wasn't necessarily cognizant of that as a young guy. Like a lot of people in that space, I was more focused on what I didn't have, which is a relationship with my biological dad. That I was so caught up in that I didn't realize the great blessings that I had in my life, the men that were positive influences. And I think the older that I've gotten, I've become more appreciative of those things and cognizant of those things. And that's why I do what I do at events such as this to pay it forward.
Yeah, that's so good. You also have the opportunity to influence a ton of young men through being a coach now, and now you're on the other side. I'm curious, what are some of the characteristics and traits that you try to instill in those young men coming under your influence, and how do you specifically do that?
I just want to make them cognizant of the platform that they have and how it can be a platform for ministry, for things that are important to them, to invoke positive influence in their communities and the people that they touch. More than anything, I think the biggest gift that you can give someone that you're around in the space that I'm around, the young men that I'm in, that it's a tremendous opportunity. With that is responsibility because there is a platform they can utilize for a lot of good.
That's awesome. I heard you say one time at a conference, people always ask you, how did you become coach of the Steelers? And you always say, man, God had a bigger plan for my life than I did. And really, when you were young, as big as you could dream was holding the wires for your high school coach, I think you said. What do you want people to know about your journey to where you are now that they may not know?
That I've been helped and impacted by a lot of people. Yes, there's a lot of hard work and dedication. I've been just tremendously blessed to have come across the people that I've been able to come across and to be impacted in the ways that I've been impacted and educated and mentored. And that's what it's all about. I think a lot of us have aptitudes in the spaces that we work and maybe potential, but a lot of people help you awaken those aptitudes and those potentials, and I've benefited greatly from that, and I want to do everything that I can to help others chase their dreams.
That's great. A few quick questions on coaching.
Yeah.
I know one of your famous sayings is the standard's the standard, and I'm just curious, where did that originate from, and why is that so impactful, and how do you play that out in your life?
I made it up. I
Nice.
can actually say I made that one up. I just hate seeking comfort, and comfort being identified as adversity that the game of football presents or the game of life presents. And for me, it's so easy to get caught up in why you're not successful. And I just always want to reiterate to our guys that every man is capable. We've got a job to do. We've got an objective to achieve, and regardless of circumstance, it's our job to pursue and attain those objectives. And so regardless of who's available to us, regardless of what's going on, game circumstances, venue, and so forth, the level of expectation is the same. And I embrace that. It's a difficult thing to embrace from time to time, but it's something that I embrace. It's something that I want our guys to embody.
I love that. What do you wish, or what did you learn about leadership and becoming a coach that you wish you would have known when you were a player? Right?
Hey, I'm a much more patient coach than I was a player. I enjoyed the simplicity of not having to worry about anything but myself. But this job has challenged me not only to get out of that line of thinking, but to put those that you serve first. And that's the type of leadership traits I try to embody. I've grown exponentially over the years, and a lot of it's had to do with the responsibilities of the coaching role, and that's why I'm just so indebted to the profession and want to give back in the ways that I do.
That's awesome. Two more questions. One, just I'm curious, how do you handle criticism and praise? 1 minute you're the town's hero, the next minute they want you out. How do you deal with all that comes with coaching?
I don't. I subscribe to the audience of one. I really do. And like I was just telling the group earlier, particularly the professional praise and criticism. I've been fortunate over the years to work for men like Coach Dungy, who really have confidence properly placed, that real humility that's allowed me to weather some of those things and really provided a blueprint for me in terms of ways to deal with what you're suggesting.
That's great. And then last question, how can people listening to this pray for you, support you, get involved with Urban Impact and what they're doing through Manup? How can we best serve you as coach of the Steelers?
I appreciate that thought, and really more than anything, just be thoughtful about the young people that you come in contact with in your routine day-to-day life, and to be cognizant of the issue of fatherlessness, and that if we as a community or a society aggressively attack it, man, we're aggressively attacking a lot of issues that are byproducts of that. And I know that's something that I do, whether it's the opportunity I get a chance to come across young people in my job, or the chance that I get to come across young people as I parent. I just try to make a conscious effort of those opportunities to get to know them, to maybe find out what their hopes and dreams are, and see if I can be helpful in some way.
That's awesome. Any last advice you want to leave young leaders?
Hey, have a hardcore plan, but be light on your feet. I think that's one of the legitimate lessons that I've learned over the years. There's no substitute for preparation, but you can't be so married to your plan that you can't see the forest for the trees. Sometimes new variables are presented to all of us, and it's our job to adjust. So I would encourage young leaders to be thoughtful about their plan, to write it down, to be as detailed as they can be, but don't be so married to that plan that they can't make the necessary adjustments that life sometimes throws our way.
So good. Thank you for your time and everything you do for our community.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know it.